welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And if I sound funny, it's just a slight tickle in my throat at the moment.
Yeah, I think I gave her my flu. My flu's getting worse, and hers is just starting. I'm caring and sharing, and she got her chance to have it as well. Hang on a second.
Thank you for the sharing part on your part, Mike. Anyway, tonight we'll be reviewing the Resort that was released in 2021, I think it was. And I thought I had high hopes for this movie, but sadly, not so much.
Yes, it had potential.
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought it would raise the bar, but it turns out it was like watching Aqua's Flash, like last time when I was here. So I was a little disappointed in this movie. I thought there would be at least maybe a few jump scares, maybe a few tense moments, but unfortunately it didn't have very many tense moments way to the beginning, which left me not wanting more, but wanting to leave the room, which is kind of a sad thing when you think about it. Anyway, what do you think about it, Mike?
Well, I was a little bit disappointed. I mean, they could have done so much with this one. It had potential, had the location, had the storyline. It had. Oh, by the way, I am pretty sick here, so if I got to start coughing and wheezing, yeah, same as last time. Anyway, yeah, it had all the good stuff, the good location, all the other stuff. It had potential. I don't know whether it was. I don't know if whether the story let itself down or the directorship, which is a bit of a shame because someone's done a lot of hard work on this.
So, who directs, produces, writes, whatnot, Mike?
Well, all the whatnots. Here we go. Now, here we go. Oh, Lord. Could be a bit of a family thing in here. Anyway, produced by Will Meldman, Sam Mobley, Justin Chen, and Taylor Chen. It was written by Taylor Chen and directed by Taylor Chen. So, yeah. I'm sorry, Taylor, you might have let yourself down. I don't know. Anyway, starring. I won't go through everybody. There's a few main people there.
I just think that just probably the four people we're going to be sticking with the whole
exactly
time.
Right. They got Bianca Haas plays Lex. Brock Oham plays Chris. Michael Vlamis plays Sam. And Michelle Randolph plays Bree. I won't mention the other people. They're only sort of more like in the background. So, box office and everything else. I don't know how much it cost to make. Cannot find out.
Neither.
So the budget, no idea. Box office only came in about $191,000. So it probably had a limited run and probably went just video on demand or something or other. But who knows? It was
Yeah, anyway, this was actually filmed at a real resort, or next resort, I'm not sure. That was a beach and a golf resort located in Hawaii. Which is closed down in 2016 and was demolished in 2018. So technically, it's no longer in use.
So when did they actually film it then?
2018.
They filmed it in 2018 and it released in 2021, okay.
Maybe they filmed it and they waited till a few years after to release it.
Well, I was going to say, there's a long post-edit, hey. I can't breathe. Sorry, guys. A long post-edit period.
Excuse me, guys.
Carry on, little one. Yeah.
So, anyway, should I dive into the story?
Dive into the story.
So, the story begins where we open on a bunch of security guards arriving at the resort, just to check out the place, and somehow an unknown force kind of kills one of the security guards. Then we flash to Lex and her pals who are just celebrating her birthday, yada yada yada, and then somehow we flash to the future where she's at the hospital being interrogated by a detective, which indicates that her friends and her went to an island abandoned resort to scope out the place for her upcoming book that she wishes to write. Isn't that right, Mike?
Well, sorry, I had to go doing something. It's really weird. It comes over. Like I said, it starts off. Everyone's happy and smiley. They're going to go for a holiday at this resort and blah 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 blah. And that's where it should be a good starting point.
It is a good starting point. You
But-
think
but then it became a travelogue
yeah,
or a holiday video.
yeah, 45 minutes
Yeah.
into the film, that's when the excitement begins.
Yeah, it should have been.
And
There was no
an
build-up.
And this is an hour long film, I should mention,
how long?
guys. An hour long.
Only an hour, is it?
Yeah.
The action happened right towards the end of it, and a little bit like that aqua splash one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so
guys. As I
nothing
said,
happened. There's no build-up. A bit here, a bit there. Creepy place. Let's walk through the bush. Let's go for a swim. Where's it getting exciting?
Yeah,
There was a movie done years ago called The Flying Saucer, and one of the critics said it made a good travelogue. There was no flying saucer in it.
Oh, really? Huh.
They were looking for the flying saucer, and they went through snow countries and glaciers and different things, but there was no flying saucer.
And what was it about, anyway? Did they say?
Oh, I can't remember. I saw it years ago. But that's what the comments were. It's a
see.
travelogue.
Okay,
Yeah,
so anyway, the group books a helicopter guy who is offered to allow them to fly to this place, and he gives them a detail of how this place has been abandoned, and that there's a half a girl with a half face, haunting the place, and it's pretty intense, and he doesn't think it's good that they're going to go down there, and he says that he's not going to try give them a ride back. So he tells them about a boat that will probably take them back that way in say 6 hours. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something over here. Yeah, the boat's supposed to pick him up. The guy who flew him there wasn't going to come back.
Yeah,
there's no mobile phone coverage, so if anything went wrong,
yeah,
they couldn't do anything.
exactly. So anyway, I hope Mike is listening here.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to get to that.
Anyway, so they head down there. They start walking, traipsing through the woods, yada yada yada, picking flowers, yada da da da, da, traipsing through the woods like a bunch of Goldilocks lookalikes. And they soon arrive at a waterfall, and they start doing a bit of swimming, no skinny dipping. Wait, there was one scene where Sam does the skinny dipping. I think it was. Would you say, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who skinny dipped, and we saw lots of him. Anyway, it's not really impressive, to be honest. And
I'm back.
the rest of the scene was all, let's throw some water around, let's kick
Whatever.
at each other, do the odd swim thing, and it seems just like, your odd commercial movie thing or something like that.
Yeah, it might as well have just been a Coca-Cola advert or something or
Yeah,
other,
something like that. And
It's not product placement
and
time,
Lex tells this to the detective who happens to be in the hospital with her, telling her about how she felt that there was something watching them when they were playing. But
There's
this-
always somebody watching in these
but
movies.
in this one, it didn't really give us enough grip on this sort of thing. I would have loved it if there was a native or creepy natives running around trying to spook them, trying to warn them off the island. Maybe it would be something cool like that. I mean, it would be so much thrilling if something was like
Something lurking in the background, doing a couple of POV shots or something.
or something like that.
Nothing like that.
Nothing. Anyway, they continued traipsing through the woods, and they kept giving each other backstory into each of their characters. How Chris is a total jerk. I mean, not really total jerk. Chris is a nice guy. Sam's a total bit of a jerk himself. And how, let me see, what's her name? Bree is a bit of the cute but dumb blonde type. What do you say?
Yeah. You always got to have one of those,
Yeah, and Lex is
It's part of the formula.
keen to go to this hotel so she can write her book. She brings her phone with her and starts recording footage, like in a found footage kind of way. Don't worry, this is not a found footage type movie, just so you guys know. Don't worry.
Yay.
Anyway, soon enough, they arrive at the resort. It's covered with a fence, and there's a lot of fabric attached to that fence to avoid people going inside.
Saying, please keep out. So what do? They go in. As one would,
Yeah. Anyway, so they break through a fence, they get through there, and they start moseying around the hotel, area. And they do eventually get up to one of the floors where it has a room that's known for a creepy disturbance with flickering lights whatsoever and all that stuff. And they go up there, and we don't see too much activity except for the fact Lex misses her bag when they go down to the ground level again.
And they go back up there, and the bag's been moved to a different area.
Yeah, weird.
Funny.
Yeah, and it's getting dark, and as I said before, they have only a few hours to get to the boat in order to get away. But unfortunately, it's getting dark, and they don't have any choice, but they end up roaming around the hotel trying to find a way out. Somehow, the little hole they got through...
They forgot where it was.
Yeah.
You would think they would orientate themselves, say, okay, the hole of the fence is near that corner of the building down by about 20 metres or 30 metres or 40 metres, and we can go directly back to the hole of the fence and get out of this place. But no, I had no idea where they were.
The security guards I mentioned earlier at the opening arrive at the hotel. This is probably where this part took place.
Possibly.
Yeah, and the kids think that maybe we should take the security guard's car and get out of here. But unfortunately...
Stealing cars now, kiddies. Not very good.
Of course, Chris and Sam, they argue that we can't do this. This is not right. We should not steal their car. But then Sam gets locked inside the car. And then somehow...
Yeah, by itself. They didn't lock it in. They didn't lock her in, and she didn't lock herself in. The car just locked the doors on her.
Yeah, and somehow it starts up. And then it starts moving towards...
with no keys.
Yeah, and it starts moving towards the
building?
The building and crashing down into the ground
They had a courtyard about two or three levels down, so the car goes straight from a barricade and down 2 or 3 levels. Obviously, the car occupant did not survive.
Yeah, let me see what happens next. I think it was Sam who kept suggesting that she must have jiggled something and caused the car to get started. But how can that possible? They took the keys.
The man had the keys. The security guard had the key.
Yeah,
in his pocket, didn't he?
No, I mean one of either Chris, I think it was Chris, took the key out of the ignition.
That's right. He reached through. He grabbed the keys. So the keys were in his hand. The car motor wasn't on. So how could the car start?
Exactly so. Anyway,
they're trying to make excuses.
Yeah, they then see something creepy. The creepy woman I mentioned earlier that has one face. See,
half a face,
yeah. I think there's an interesting backstory about how she got that way, but I won't go into details.
Tourist, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they get chased and they end up going down to basement level to escape.
As one would when you're trying to escape a building. Let's go down the basement. So
you heard of the expression about where people always go up to the attic to escape someone?
Yeah.
Well, they get down to the basement level.
That's a turnaround, isn't it, folks?
And you guys may be not aware, the basement is a death trap. If you watched Night of the Living Dead, that's what Ben said. The basement is a death trap, meaning you cannot get out. There's no way out. Not unless they had a bit of a special exit or fire exit.
Exactly right, yeah.
Which unlike Night of the Living Dead even had, which I doubt.
No. Carry on.
Anyway, so our people wander around there, and suddenly, I think it was Sam. Sam gets swished by the half-faced woman away. We don't see him again, and then we see him much later as a zombie.
Yeah, like a zombie. Yeah, they can't be like a zombie. Yeah, that's the best way to put him. Not a living dead. Eat your heart out.
Chris and Lex, they try to get away from him. At first, they talk to him like they think that they can reason with him, which I doubt you can reason with zombie people.
Well, I've worked with guys like you just cannot work with them. You can't reason with them.
Yeah, somehow the half-faced woman is the hotel is controlling their dead bodies. to an extent.
Probably. Not quite explained, but that's what we believe anyway.
Yeah, sort of like Rose Red, Stephen King's
Something like,
movie.
but they were ghosts.
True.
They weren't zombies.
I know, but they did.
However, actually, we wouldn't mind reviewing that. It was a rather long review. That'll probably take 2 days to review it. So,
Well, I can skip ahead because most of the stuff is mostly running around and just being stuck in a room all
being
day.
killed by the ghost stuff, Yep.
Anyway, Chris and Lex, they try to find a way out. They end up even trying to program a elevator because the elevators are not working. There's no electricity on the resort. Is that right, Mike?
Well, I would presume it's an abandoned resort. I don't think you'd leave the power on, would you?
No.
Or you may have a bit of water coming, unless that water's been locked off, and there definitely wouldn't be any electricity because no one's paying the bills.
Yeah, Chris eventually gets killed by Sam. He gets his head crushed, I think it was.
Oh yeah, that was a good effect. That wasn't too bad. That.
Yeah, he tries to talk to Sam, which again, as I said, if he wasn't read the script, that was a dumb move when you think about it. I swear sometimes the stuff people do in this movie is like the old comedy type horror type stuff. Like you don't realize that the person is dangerous or hostile, and you just feel like that you're just talking to without realizing it. Anyway, Lex is the last person standing, and you think that she'll get away eventually. But she then spots her friend, I think Bree, and she approaches her, and she kind of takes out a match, and we then, as she drops it, we get this big blinding white light right in front of us. And then we flash back to the hospital where Lex is being interrogated by the detective. And the detective tells her that her friends might be still alive, but she doubts it. They're dead. And then somehow she takes out her phone and she clicks it, and she sees that she's still at the hotel.
No. What he does, while the policeman's there, he walks away towards the curtains. She gets a phone out and she takes a picture or video footage or an image of him, and she knows he's got these vein marks on his arms, the dead people she saw at the resort.
Oh yeah.
And then she realizes, oh hell, he's one of them. And then the scene starts to decay, and she realizes, you got it, she's still in the resort.
Yeah, and we then see that she's developed veins and her skin's developed a greeny color, and we realize that she never left the island and she's become one of them.
Possibly. Yeah.
The end. That is the most short of reviews I ever done of this movie, or on examining it anyway.
18 minutes. Bye, guys. No.
Yeah, not really one of my best thoughts on this movie. I mean, I thought they could at least had some kind of native chasing them in the woods, or maybe something trying to scare them away from the island. Something.
It should have been something that well built it up. That's probably where it fell a bit short. Yes. That's why it didn't work really good, because it's all going. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Yum 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 yum. Three bears walk in, wake up Goldilocks, she runs out the door, finished.
Yeah.
And that's how it comes over,
Yeah, look at Red Riding Hood, guys. You see, when Red Riding Hood goes into the woods, she encounters a wolf who makes a bet with her that she'll beat her at going to the grandma's house. And that, to me, is like meeting a scary thing. And then we eventually get the scare when he comes dressed as her grandma.
Wasn't it? Remember the movie? Was it Dance? No, what that one?
You mean Wolves? Company of Wolves?
Company of Wolves, yeah, Company of Wolves, yeah. Now that was a really good take on Red Riding Hood, wasn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just mean that, guys. I just feel like this movie should have had more. Like at least have before they get to the resort, we could have had a few encounters with other creepy things. I know we have to meet the creepy things at the hotel and the resort, but it would have been so much.
Even actually, even if they shortened the trip to the resort, spend more time at the resort, but being stalked by something.
Exactly.
So they could have spent an extra 10 minutes or 50 minutes of filming at the resort and 10 to 50 minutes less and actually getting there, but it could have been better.
Yeah. I think I would have had more fun watching Grave Encounters than watching this movie.
Yeah.
I don't like being a troll about this, but I feel like
No,
like
we're trying to be realistic.
It
We're not
takes me
being
back
trolls
to Aqua Slash, which left me hungry for more, hungry for
Slash
more
had
stuff.
potential, but they didn't use the script and directorship and DOP and stuff. They didn't bring it to life properly. Something was missing, and that was the dynamics of building it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she said in when she was interrogated by the detective that she felt something's watching her. How about show us something that she isn't
Yeah, a
afraid
bit of retro footage and stuff, and POV stuff, and being stalked, something or other. But
Something, please, folks, guys. This is the stuff that makes horror horror.
A horror movie is supposed to be a good movie, not a horrible movie. Aha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole point of a horror movie is to have your audience
Excuse me.
spellbound. By the time the audience sits down and watches it, they're already taken in by the first scene. I know that the first scene, we see the security guards get taken by this creature. Okay, that's supposed to grip us, but you have to grip the audience all the way through the movie.
You've got to
bit
invite
by bit.
It's got to invite them into the movie.
Not necessarily kill them off right away at the beginning. Just to give them a scare, give them a reason to be scared.
Give them a taste.
Give them a taste of why they should be fearful.
Well, it's like Dale and Tucker versus Evil. It starts at the end when the police are investigating the site where all the murders happened, and then the journalist and her cameraman, get killed by a creepy guy. You can see part of his face, and then it goes back 3 days earlier.
Exactly.
We're in for a ride here. That sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was hoping this movie would give me something to look forward to, but I feel like they should just cut the first bit out, and I mean the middle bit out, and give me a bit more the last bit in. I know that would mean that would make the movie 30 minutes shorter than its usual goal.
Yeah, but the point is they could have developed it a bit better. Yeah.
Because as you guys are aware, guys, that in order to make a movie, it has to be at least an hour and a half long.
Well, this is actually 75 minutes long, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, but still an hour long-ish.
No, it's an hour and a quarter. Hour and a half's a good thing for opening up, closing down, and a bit of substance in the middle. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the middle was really
was a bit lame. Everything
boring.
happened in the last bit of it, so yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I've been... I know I sound like a troll, but I also have a cold, and I don't think it's right to bag this movie.
We're not bagging it. We're just giving a critique on it.
I know.
We're not being nasty and saying they're cretins and horrible, don't know how to make a movie. We're not doing that like some people might.
I know.
No, we were saying our analysis of it, our post-mortem. Now, talking about that, taking the microphone away from my partner for a minute. I never get a word in. Usually. Now, release. I had a bit of some notes here I was looking at before. The film received a limited release. That's why it didn't do big. So it probably went to video on demand or something or other. Now, reception. Right, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 40%.
Okay.
Based on 15 reviews with an average of 3.8. Well, that means it didn't satisfy a lot of people. Okay, right. Bobby Lapierre, I think is a film threat, gave it 7.5 out of 10. He said the resort takes a while to get to the good stuff, and the rhythm is interrupted every now and then. But the scares are effective. The cast does what they can with the material, and the cinematography is great. Yes, I must admit, I did like the filming.
Yeah, both
the cinematographer did a good job.
Both, I think it was Charlie and his Taylor. They were they did those particular shots. The drone camera shots from up in the from up in the air during the whole helicopter shots.
Yeah, and the other guy involved was actually Adrian Kirchner, and they did a good job actually on the technical side of it. How's that?
I agree.
But yeah, the story. I'm not knocking the directorship of Taylor.
Me neither.
But if that's the story he wrote, there's something lacking in the story. Okay, so I can't talk too much more about this because there's not much to say.
Yeah.
There's no information on the internet. I can't find anything. But all I'll say is, look, honestly, anybody who's going to get in there and give it a go is they're going to be limited by the budget and the skill levels. Now, I don't know what his skill level is.
Me neither.
I don't know if it's his first movie or he's done several movies or whatever. It's a good movie in its own, but there's so many things he could have done better. So when it gets down to grading it, I'm going to have to give it something like, 6.5. There's so many things he could have done with this to make it a really good movie instead of it's a filler for Halloween night or something rather. And even at Halloween night, it ain't that scary, you know.
Yeah, I would have loved it if there was something to add to this movie. Like not wait until... I know the twist ending was great.
Yeah, good twist.
I liked the twist ending, but they could have done so much more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Guys. I mean,
But anyway, look, irrespective, we're just going to go over old ground, running around in circles saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same things over and over. And then, should we rate this now? Because
Well, I just said
like
6.5.
Yeah.
What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 7.5 out of.
He's being very
10.
nice.
Well,
like I said, we don't know what the budget was. If they had a really, really limited budget, there's only so much you can do. But that shouldn't impact on your story writing.
Yeah,
I reckon.
I reckon.
Yeah,
Unless they had a small budget to play with, or maybe not a very large budget.
But the point is, if he wrote the story and he was a director, and that sort of thing, he's not paying himself. So he could have developed his storyline a tad better and got a lot more mileage out of it. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. But this could have been his first go at it. As a first go, I don't think it's all that bad. But he left too many things not done right.
Yeah, the one thing I spoke to a lot of filmmakers about, and they often say, you never leave your audience, never leave your audience half empty,
Okay. I'll give you a view from my past. We used to go to the theatre watching movies when I was a young man, teenager. I'll go into a movie, let's say I watched a movie like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly or something like that. I'll come out feeling like I was 10 foot tall and I was Clint Eastwood because the movie dragged me into the storyline. Well, this doesn't drag me anywhere.
No.
It sends me to the toilet or go get a cup of coffee
or at least give me a little time to go for an intermission and get myself a Milky Way bar.
Yeah, exactly right. So that doesn't do. There's no. I suppose it doesn't get the emotion going, or it doesn't drag you into the story.
The whole process of making a horror movie is always to leave your audience hungry for more.
And when you go home to go to bed at night, you might want to leave the light on.
Or wait for a sequel if it's a really good
sequel.
studio.
Yeah, exactly right. Now you got it. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it for me. I can't think of anything else to say.
Me neither, sadly. And I don't want to sound... I feel like my voice is losing its
and
voice.
Mine too.
I don't want to sound too more groggy about it.
I backed away from the microphone early on there. I thought I was going to have a coughing fit. I didn't want to give it to you guys, so that's why I was away from the microphone a little bit. But I'm getting ready for another coughing fit.
Yeah, so you heard our thoughts on it. You guys can feel free to watch it.
It's a good watch, but don't expect too much. But you can see if you watch it. Oh, by the way, it is available on eBay and Amazon. You can rent it. Blah blah blah. If you want to, have a look at it and try to pick out the good bits they did.
Yeah.
And I think really the acting wasn't too bad. The cinematography wasn't bad.
I think
they had a lot of good pluses in it, but they could have done so much more.
I think that the most things I liked about it was the drone shots and they did from the helicopter, and the end bits way to the end, obviously. They were pretty good.
Well, the end bits usually are at the end.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think about this movie. The location, was.
Carry on.
The location is an awesome take. The whole taking place in an abandoned hotel. And the really interesting thing is, it's a real hotel.
Yeah. I always like location shoots reusing old buildings and stuff, because you can't make decadence better, or not decadence, decay better than reality. It's crap. It's horrible. There's broken windows, graffiti on the walls, crap all over the floor. You don't have to worry setting up. It's already there. You know?
You said before, Mike, that you heard of some places in Australia and Queensland of abandoned buildings that
I said
still left under construction.
No, I said on the internet. There's some sites there, abandoned buildings around the world. And you go and look at it, there's so many abandoned buildings which have been abandoned for so many years, and they're just sitting there. What a great place to make a film. Actually, Hostel, was that actually done in...
Yeah, it was probably done in an abandoned building.
Wasn't that an old hospital building or something? Or,
an old building.
Yeah, something like that. And they use that. Why not? It's there. Yeah, that's what I mean. It gives it more reality.
Yeah, exactly so.
Yeah.
Which is even more cooler if you had control of the situation, like if you were a filmmaker crew and team, and you wish to film in some of those locations. And you know how to, and be sure to have health and safety on your side.
Oh, certainly, yes, always.
Then it might be a good place to film and make your own mark by filming at one of these places.
It'd be good if you can get access to it. Some of them are dangerous sites; they're not allowed in. So, if you are an up-and-coming filmmaker and you want to do a film shoot in an old building with a sign saying "Keep out, warning, dangerous building, full of asbestos," whatever it says, check with the guys controlling the property and see if it is actually safe to go in.
Yeah, I know this one place I went to, and I think it's still there. Maybe it's an abandoned ice rink and there's a lot of graffiti. A lot of people probably have made their mark by going inside there just to explore the place.
Putting a few words of wisdom up there.
And people still go inside it just to explore a bit.
If you're looking for a good time, phone... No.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's great place to explore and check it out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's still there or it's been demolished.
Where was this?
Oh, it's somewhere in Brisbane.
I know it's somewhere, because that's where we live. Okay.
It's I think a lot of people know...
I never get a straight answer, do I? No.
I think it's I don't remember where it is, but I know for a fact
near the city.
It's in the city somewhere.
Right. Okay.
It's a good place to check out.
Oh yes. I'm
Anyway,
going to cough again. Are we going to go now?
Yeah, we might as well cut out, guys. So thanks for listening to our latest podcast, everyone. This is Sarah Stephenson
and Michael
saying, see you guys around until we get off this cold.
Yeah,
Bye.
I hope we're better next time. Yeah.